You're going to see it's going to happen. It's going to be highlighted for you. There it is, right there. All right, we got a little extracurricular action going on. And we do have a flag on this. I don't care what the flag is for. I want to know what you're going to do. Do you have this as a UNS on the offense only, the white team player, on the red player? Do you have a UNS? Do you have both players? Do you have no foul legal, or do you have something else? Bill, what do you see here? You don't have to pick one, but like what do you see, and how would you handle this?
Well, we've got a player that's obviously been put to the ground pretty good, and I won't judge whether it was holding or not, but he gets the guy to the ground pretty solid, and the guy doesn't appreciate it. There is a leg that comes up from the player on the red that looks like it's a kick attempt. There's also the white player who kind of, as he's getting up, it's almost like, is that intentional, the way he kind of straddles the head of the player on the ground? Is that kind of a message there type thing? High school rules say this is all contact, isn't it?
I don't know. What did you have, Robert?
Well, first of all, if anything, I don't have UNS because there's contact.
Oh, so, dang it. It's a trick question.
By definition alone, I have something else. I'm one of the 14%.
Something else. Go ahead.
Yeah, so my observation is I'm not penalizing that offensive player for doing his job. He's worked too hard in the offseason. So I'm not penalizing him. If I'm penalizing anyone, which I would not, but if I did, it would be on the contact after he got his butt kicked. And what I mean by that, by the red player, I would have a personal foul on the red player for his behavior following being owned. But despite all that, as an official, I'm getting in between the players and I'm just separating. I'm talking to the red player. That's me.
No, that's
but okay, that's how I officiate. That's how I officiate.
All right. Whether you decided that the action on either team was illegal, remember in high school football, a UNS has to be a non-contact foul. It has to be something that is through words, something other than contact. Now, on this one, going back to it, there's ways to get around this if this has been a problem all game. So if these guys have been going at it all game, and you're there, and you're the covering official, and you get there, and you hear words exchanged, you have to hear words exchanged or some sort of taunting or something like that in order for you to elevate this to a UNS. That is the requirement. Just doing what they're doing right there, if there's no words exchanged, there's no taunting, there's no anything like that, this has to be a UNR if you're going to flag it. It has to be unnecessary roughness, dead ball foul. Now, to Robert's point, we want to try to get there when we can, have that physical and verbal presence. And to Bill's point about what's going on, I don't see anything with the white player. The only issue that comes up is where you can maybe say taunt is he pushes him down back to the ground right there. He looks like he may push him back to the ground, and now he may walk over the top of him instead of try to remove himself from this situation. As of right now, I still see a talk to, okay? I'm still like, all right, this guy's being a jerk, but I don't see anything that's really jumping out. What gets me is when the red player tries to kick him. Now, you can see, it's like, is he trying to kick him? It looks that way, and then he gets back up, and then he gives him another shove. So that second one is what I think actually why our official threw the flag. I think our official was going to do what Robert said. He was going to talk to him. It was a little bit, everything was borderline and marginal, and then they had to give an extra shove right in front of me. So now we're going to go UNR, not a UNS on this. So I'm going to bring Robert back in for a moment just so we can see what everybody's having to say. This is generating a lot of discussion, it looks like. But remember, UNS it's got to be words. It's words. It's things. It's taunting. It's action that is not contact. That's a UNS. UNR, that's contact. One final little piece to this is that a flagrant unnecessary roughness contact foul is a DQ. So if you felt that kick, and I'm not saying it is, okay, don't go that, but let's just say that was a way bigger of a kick, and it was intentional, and it was done to potentially cause injury or fighting in that manner. You felt like it rose to that level. It's still a UNR, but it's flagrant, which causes the DQ. It's not a UNS. Big difference. And I think sometimes we talk about this every year, but I keep seeing high school officials screw that one up because at other levels, this is something different potentially. At college, this would be a UNS. In high school, it's not. It's a UNR or a flagrant UNR. There's not a UNS here in that regard. And please don't go flagrant on this one. I'm just saying. All right, Robert, tell me what you got.
Tim, are you able to go at full speed?
Oh yeah, absolutely.
The reason why I asked that is just because a lot of viewers are saying, they see a potential swing and kick, and I agree, I do too at slow motion, but I didn't know if you can go at full speed to see, when you're on the field and you see this action, you got to be very clear if you're coming out with a kick or a swing, because that deems more severity of a foul.
Yeah, I don't think even if you had this as a kick, I wouldn't go to the flagrant level because in my mind, if you wanted to call it as extra action, it's more of that extra contact. He's trying to get him off him. He's not necessarily trying to physically kick him. But going back to the play again, going back to it, like I said, I think our official here, and like I said, I'm good with whatever they call. They're on the game. I'm not. But I think this is everybody's thinking we're going to talk to. And now, if I was a referee, I'd probably have a little bit more presence right here if I saw this because the play's dead. But I'm thinking of talk to. I don't think our referee is thrown on this. I really don't. I think where our referee throws is right there. You kind of see it from behind. He pushes him. He gives him another push. And you know what? Shame on that guy. If he's going to do something like that right in front of the official after he was already given him benefit of the doubt on the other contact, you know what? Shame on him. And Bill, I mean, what do you think on that in that regard? I mean, you want to do that in front of the official, right?
That probably was the least of the things I'd worry about was the touch on the back of the jersey. But, again, and the high school rule, college rule being a little bit different with the wording for unsportsmanlike. The one thing I will say is that it was a good move by the NCAA to say non-football acts, that you can have contact. But if that's, so far out of bounds or that's that type of pushing and shoving that goes on after a play, those aren't football acts. So it's unsportsmanlike conduct. Because you can get away, basically you can get away with some physical acts that don't possibly get you thrown out of a game. But if they're unsportsmanlike acts and you get two of them, you're done for the night.
Well, and there's a little bit of insight to that, and you're right, it's different in high school, and unfortunately, officials here could do that. I think everybody who's on this meeting tonight will take themselves to that level to where they would be able to delineate what should truly be a UNS and what should truly be a UNR. The problem is we have a lot of officials who work high school who can't figure that one out, and they're just pissed off at the kid, and they go UNS. And now the kid goes and spins the ball after his touchdown, and he's see you later. I think they're trying to avoid that because of the differences of officiating across the country. And not to say that's right or wrong, but I mean that's really the crux of it. But all right, so Robert.
Yeah, thank you, Tim. Just in summary, a lot of viewers' comments across the spectrum. Some even come to the conclusion that if words were said after the contact, then there may be a flag by the referee for a UNS for non-contact exchange of verbal words, and that could be. So we weren't there, we don't know. Another said that they would have a flag up but have a foul on both players and just have them offset. There's a lot of ways officials can manage to mitigate these type of situations. So I respect that from the viewers, and that's where we're at, Tim.
Well, and the other thing is we don't know the heat of the game. So the heat of the game might dictate that you've already talked. We've already had a lot of chit-chatting as officials. We've preventative officiated a lot, and we're done. And this is just cross that line. So it's not as cut and dry as it might seem. That's why this one was completely across the board. But hopefully you got something out of this, so that way you're able to at least walk it through and not calling UNS on contact fouls. Okay? Don't call UNS.